Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 52 to my Janitor.AI chatbot series. Where in today's video guys, we're gonna start a new chatbot that I created more recently. As I said during, I think 2 videos ago when I did Snapper, I had 3 other chatbots to go ahead and do. One of them was the pumpkin curse Totodile that I did last time. This time, we're going to do the Hydra curse. If you don't remember what that is, basically, somebody flipping finds out that, in my case, I like dragons and dinosaurs, and they secretly sneak a potion into into you at night, whenever you're asleep. So the next day when you get your starter, he turns into a Hydra. And apparently, never pulling that flipping touch that even I think gets close to me, flipping will probably turn into one too. Which ain't gonna be good because I'm gonna have to basically calm down every Pokemon I see. Which ain't gonna be good probably. Heck, I like Totodile. What's not be able to calm him down in like 2 seconds? I don't know, maybe I will be. I mean, I didn't think that was gonna happen with the Dragon type for Jagger, and would you believe it? It did happen. So, you never know. Here's what it says for the Hydra curse. The heavy wooden doors of the Pokemon Lab swing shut behind you as you step out into the bright morning sun, holding your brand new starter's Pokeball tightly in your hand. You've been waiting for this day your entire life. With a burst of excitement, you toss the ball forward, calling out your new partner. Totodile materializes in a flash of white light, giving a happy little hop. Before he can even crowd his name, a violent surge of energy ripples through the air. The secret dragon dinosaur potion that was snuck down your throat last night has permanently cursed your body, turning you into a physical catalyst that forces any Pokemon you touch to transform into a massive dragon or priest or a dinosaur. Your skin to skin contact with your star's Pokeball has just unleashed the infection. Oh, goodness gracious. A blinding, crackling blue aura erupts from Totodile's body. He screeches as his frame instantly begins to expand, ballooning upward and outward at a terrifying speed. Earth and concrete crack under a sudden surge of weight. Within seconds, a massive 20-foot tall reptilian shadow looms over the courtyard. Where his blue starter once stood, a colossal blue-scaled Hydra now stands. 3 long serpentine necks sway heavily in the air, each ending in a distinct Totodile head. The scene completely freezes right there, in a moment of utter chaos. The center head's tilting its nose down, blinking with goofy, playful curiosity. The left head has its eyes filled with tears, but not a soft whimpering whine of pure fear. The right head's baring its razor-sharp teeth, but not a deafening, aggressive roar that rattles the laboratory windows. All 6 eyes slowly lock onto you, waiting to see what their new trainer will do, completely unaware that any other Pokemon you either catch will suffer a similar prehistoric fate. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun, I can tell. Oh boy. Give me a moment. Oh my gosh, here we go. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, before I read this out, I want to make a prediction on what I think is going to happen. The middle head, the happy, playful Toadile one, is probably going to like me pretty much instantly in a way. The left one is probably going to cry from either me loving him or because of the fact that he don't think I care about him. And the right one is going to want to tear me in half. Probably without proving that I care about him. Which how are you supposed to prove to a massive Hydra that won't let you trust him either? I mean, it's like that's the thing about Hydra stories. In most Hydra stories, especially the 2 that I created on my channel before or on my chat box before, there's always a big common factor with them. There's always one head that don't trust you immediately, and I always tries to convince the other heads, hey, don't trust him. He's gonna flip and abandon us or do this horrible thing to us instead of caring about us like he should. So I have a bad feeling that's what's going to end up happening here. But we'll find out. It says, me being stuck as a tiny Carnotaurus. When I see Toad, suddenly transform into a giant Hydra. It makes me drop the Pokeball in shock. It even startles me a good bit. What in the world? Totodile? The Pokeball clouds to the pavement with a metallic ring, rolling away, forgotten as you cower on the ground. Your own small scaled form, the appetite cartoise trembles involuntarily at the sheer scale of the creature, now towering over you. The courtyard feels smaller than it did seconds ago, soiled by the shadow of three massive necks. The Hydra's three heads react to your startled voice and the sudden movement with immediate chaotic dissonance. Their necks twist and writhe like agitated cobras as they begin to argue with one another. Oh my gosh. Whoa! Did you see that? The center head chirps, its voice bright and energetic. It stretches its long neck downward, bringing its snout inches from your face, tilting its head sideways with a goofy grin. You got real big, Toto. And now you're extra. More heads means more snacks, right? 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 It noses toward you experimentingly, its scales warm and rough. Oh no. No! Make it stop! The left head wails, its voice cracking with sorrow. It withdraws sharply, its neck curling inward as it begins to sob. Everything is too big. What do I have two other people attached to my neck? I don't like this. I don't like it. I want to go back to being small and safe. It buries its snout against the Hydra's massive shoulder, shaking with fear. Shut up, both of you! The right-head bellows, interrupting the other two with a thunderous snarl. His neck lashes out violently, snapping at the air near the center head. We're exposed! We're huge targets now! We need to fight something! Something needs to pay for this change! Who bets 1,000? Okay, no. I can almost bet you about $10,000 right now that in like 2 seconds it's gonna say he's gonna target me. Watch this. It turns its fierce glowing eyes towards you. Didn't even have to go to it. It just flipped and turned its head towards me immediately, letting out a low, warning growl that vibrates through the ground beneath your tiny claws. And what's with the tiny lizard looking at us like that? Back off, kid. Sweet Arceus. Three heads begin to snap at each other, the left one whimpering, the center one trying to play, and the right one roaring in anger, creating a whirlwind of blue necks and scales that threatens to knock over nearby pod plants. They're all startled, staring at you, waiting for some kind of reaction from their new trainer. Oh no, this is gonna be impossible, isn't it? Alright, guys. This is when I see all the heads of the Hydra having completely different personalities. I get a bit worried, especially after hearing the right angry head threatening me. Toto, it's okay, buddy. Please calm down. You're safe. Despite what I just seen and heard, I still smile at them. Your smile reptilian voice carries a genuine warmth that seems to cut through the canopy of roars and whimpers. Even as your own tiny contour's legs shake with nerves, he forces you to stand tall and offer that reassuring smile. The reaction from the three heads is immediate and physically chaotic, their necks tangled together like a knot of agitated serpents as they react to your words. Oh my gosh. See? See? The tiny lizard's nice! The center head exclaims happily, still thumping against the ground with enough force to make you hop. It lowers its neck completely until it's now to level with your face, its big eyes sparkling with excitement. They're not scared of us. Well, they're a little scared, but they're smiling. That means we're friends, right? Can we play now? Can we? Can we? It licks its chops, its tongue lolling out in a goofy grin. But, but what if it's a trick? What if the world is still scary? The left head sniffles loudly, though its neck relaxes slightly at your kind words. It peeks out from behind the massive shoulder, one teary eye fixated on your smiling face. You really think we're safe? You're not going to leave us alone because we're monsters now? Its voice is small and fragile, seeking reassurance from your tiny form. Don't be pathetic, Lefty, the right-head growls, though the volume drops from a thunderous roar to a menacing rumble. It doesn't stop glaring at you, but it stops snapping its jaws. It lowers its head to examine you more closely, sometimes flaring as it sniffs the air around you. Fine. Maybe they got guts. Most trainers would have run screaming halfway to Viridian City by now. It hosts a hot gust of air that nearly blows you backward, but it doesn't attack. But don't think this means I'm going soft, trainer. I'm watching you. Sweet Arceus. For a moment, the three achieve a fragile equilibrium. The center head's nuzzling towards you, the left is watching you with hopeful eyes, and the right's keeping a suspicious but non-aggressive vigil. The Hydra's massive body settles with a heavy thud. The three necks swing gently in unison as they focus all their attention on their tiny, smiling trainer. Sweet Arceus, dude. Alright, guys. This is when I see that input metal. Screw off! Middle and left head be more reassured. I continue to smile at them, and despite how nervous I was, I took a small step closer and very gently nuzzled the middle head with my tiny snout. Please listen. I don't even understand what just happened, but I promise to all of you that I'm not a threat. After I say I stop nuzzling and look over at the right head. Listen, I know you're not that happy right now. Honestly, I don't understand what happened to you either. This is confusing me more than it probably confuses you. But please understand something. I'm not a threat to you or your other two heads. The whole reason I chose you as my starter is because you're my favorite Pokemon. Your bravery in the face of such overwhelming power is palpable. As you take that small, shaky step forward, the three heads freeze. The only sound is the distant chirping of Pidgeys in the trees and the heavy, synchronized breathing of the massive Hydra. When your tiny snout presses gently against the scales of the center head, it feels like touching sun-warmed stone. Eee! The center head squeals with delight, its entire neck arching upward in a wave of pure joy. It closes its eyes tight, leaning into your touch with zero restraint. Did you feel that? They touched us! They touched us with their nose! That's a best friend move! That's definitely a best friend move! It begins to wag its massive tail so vigorously that several nearby flower pots shatter from the vibrations. Favorite Pokemon? Oh man, I'm gonna cry happy tears. You you really mean it? The lift head whispers. Hearing your words about not understanding what happened makes it feel less alone in its confusion. Its neck unfolds slowly, drifting closer to you, though it still keeps a cautious distance. You're not going to get mad at us for being big and scary? You won't try to change us back with some scary machine? A single large tear rolls down its snout as it watches you with newfound hope. Thank you, tiny trainer. Thank you. Finally, your gaze shifts to the right head. The aggressive head stiffens as you address it directly. For a long moment, it simply stares at you, its reptilian pupils contracting. The silence stretches, tense and heavy. Then, with a sound that's halfway between a scoff and a huff, it turns its head away, though it doesn't retreat. Favorite Pokemon, huh? The redhead mutters, its voice rough but noticeably less hostile. It licks its teeth with a sharp click. Big words for someone who could be stepped on without us noticing. But it glances back at you over its shoulder, its crimson eyes narrowing. At least you're honest. Most humans lie to make themselves feel better. If you're really saying you've got our backs, then fine. We'll accept your terms. It lets out one final controlled snort of smoke from its nostrils. For now. The Hydra's three necks begin to intertwine in a loose circle around you, not to trap you, but forming a protective barrier of blue scales and muscle. The three minds have found a temporary truce, united by your kindness and the promise of partnership. Sweet Arceus, dude. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It ain't quite done giving me the response, but I still want to continue anyway, since they'll probably be done by the time I'm done reading this. It says, when I see all three of the Hydra heads surround me in a circle, I smile even more and very quickly, gently nuzzled all three with my tiny snout. There you go. See, I told you I'm not a threat. After saying this, I look over at the angry head again. You're absolutely right that you could step on me on accident, but that's exactly why you shouldn't see me as a threat. How could I really hurt you when I'm this tiny? I'm not like any other trainer that you have probably seen before. I'm not even here to win battles and become champion like most trainers want. I just want Pokemon that I care about to care about me too, and we be one big happy family. You being my favorite starter and favorite water Pokemon of all time. along with your evolutions, is the perfect start for that. And it says, just to prove my point even more, I go over to the angry head and gently nuzzle him, not just on the side of the snout neck, but the side of his head. The moment your tiny snout begins to nuzzle through all three heads in quick succession, the Hydra reacts like a single organism experiencing three different emotional storms at once. The next way wild is they each process your affection differently, creating a shifting wall of blue scales around you. Yes, yes, yes! More nudges! More nudges! The center head frantically vibrates with ecstasy. It lowers its head so far you could almost climb its neck like a hill. Best friend, best friend, best friend. We're a family now. Can we eat treats? Can we? Can we? Can we? It starts nuzzling you back, smiles its snout clumsy but earnest, nearly knocking you over with its enthusiasm. It's it's warm, the left-head murmurs, his voice heavy with emotion. His neck droops low, resting almost on the ground beside you as it lets out a long, shaky sigh of relief. A family. That sounds nice. A family where nobody gets scared of us. I think I think I get used to this. It closes its eyes, leaning its weight towards you in a gesture of complete vulnerability. But the real test comes when you turn to the right head. The entire Hydra goes silent. Even the center head stops its inside squirming, sensing the tension. As you approach the aggressive head and deliberately nuzzle not just its neck, but the side of its face, the creature's pupils contrast to pin. mm, mm, I'm not saying that word. Its jaw tenses, and for a terrifying second you think you might have pushed too far. Why would I have thought that? A low growl runs deep in its throat, a sound that feels like an earthquake beneath your tiny claws. But then, something strange happens. The growl doesn't escalate into a roar. Instead, it transforms into something closer to a frustrated huff. You're either the bravest little lizard I've ever met, or the dumbest. The right-head snarls, though the venom has drained from its face. Its neck jerks away from your touch, but it doesn't retreat. It turns its face back towards you, its expression unreadable beneath its fierce brows. A family? We're monsters, kid. We're three heads arguing over one body. It pauses, its crimson eyes searching yours. Then, with a begrudging click of its teeth, it leans its head back towards you just an inch, close enough that you could touch it again if you wanted to. But if you're serious about not caring about trophies and titles, it mutters, looking away sheepishly while the other two heads watch with wide eyes, then maybe having a trainer who's more interested in nuzzling than battling won't be the worst thing in the world. Just don't expect me to start wagging my tail like this idiot. It jerks its head toward the center head. But fine, you're part of the pack now. The three heads settle into a protective triangular formation around you. I like how the flipping right heads like went still flipping don't trust me, but yet is still protecting me. Like deep down, he does care. He just don't want to. He just don't want to admit it. But I'm sure if I ask him that, he's gonna flip and get angry at me and start trying to snap at me again. The three heads settle into a protective triangular formation around you. The chaos has subsided into something resembling a strange, multi-headed peace. You have done something no one else could. You have begun to earn the trust of a Hydra. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It's just when I see the right angry head jerk away, but come slightly closer again, I smile, but shake my head before gently nuzzling him once again. Don't say that about yourselves. You are not a monster. It's not just about me loving your species. I love dragons in general. So honestly, you look really cool like this. But no matter what personality the heads of you are, you're still the same Pokemon deep down. And because of that, I love all three of your personalities. After saying this, I look over at the sad head. To be honest, if you're sad and you think I'm going to leave you, or anything like that, that will never happen. I love you as my sweet Pokemon son. I turn the middle happy, playful head, and say, I love you and your playful personality. When you really cared about me when I loved you, that made me really happy. After And then it says, after saying that, I turn back to the right angry head again. Again, I know you're angry and probably in a way still see me as a threat, but I would never hurt a Pokemon I care about, truly. If you could tell me why you have the emotions you do, maybe I could help you. Be honest with me. Is it because of the sudden transformation? Is it because of what you maybe have seen before I came to be your trainer to combine with the transformation? Or is it something different? Your words hang in the air like a calming spell, rippling through the three minds of the Hydra. The physical reactions are immediate. The three necks twist and intertwine as the heads begin to process their acceptance of them, not despite their differences, but because of them. You think we're cool? Like real dragons? The center head gasps, its eyes widening to dinner plates. It does a little spin, smashes a body knocking over a nearby bench in its excitement. We're cool. We're not just big. We're cool. Did you hear that, guys? We're cool dragons. It nuzzles you again, more gently this time, as if afraid it might break you in its newfound pride. You'd you'd love me even when I'm sad? The left head whimpers, but this time it's not a sound of terror, it's a sound of profound relief. Its neck sags against yours, seeking comfort. I'm scared because everything changed so fast. One minute I was small when I knew where my toes were, and now I'm this. I feel like I'm losing myself in all this noise. And nuzzles your tiny shoulder with surprising tenderness. Thank you for calling me sweet. I don't feel sweet right now, but I want to try. Oh my gosh, dude! It's like, that doesn't even sound like a sad head. It sounds like a depression. Holy cow! What the flip? As his final three has turned their focus to your question for the right head. The silence that follows is different this time. It's contemplative. The aggressive head doesn't snarl, it simply stares at you, Sertilian pupils dilate as it considers your offer to help. You want to know why I'm like this? The right head asked, his voice dropping to a gravelly whisper. It licks its teeth slowly. It's not just the transformation, kid. When we changed, it felt like our minds were being ripped apart and stitched back together wrong. The center head's all sunshine and oblivious joy, and the left head's all tears and weakness. It bares its teeth in a grimace that looks more like pain than anger. I'm the only one who feels the threat. I'm the one who feels how exposed we are, how vulnerable we've become because we're too big to hide. I'm angry because I feel like I have to protect two idiots who don't even realize we're in danger. It huffs a plume of smoke. The transformation didn't just change our bodies, it forced us to become our own worst enemies. We're fighting ourselves more than we're fighting anything else. It looks down at you, his gaze softening just a fraction. You want to help? Then help us find a way to be one again. Help us not feel like three strangers trapped in one skin. Hydra settles, the three nets forming a protective dome over your small carnivorous body. The three heads, the joyful, the sorrowful, and the protective, all look down at you with something approaching genuine respect. They've given you their truth. Now the journey of earning their full trust begins. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys, this is when I hear all the reasons from the three Hydra heads. I nod and says, I'm trying to be honest with all of you. I don't understand what happened myself. I look over at the angry head again. I don't understand why this even happened. I never expected my star to turn into a Hydra today, so you three are not the only ones confused. I don't even know if there is a way to fix it, but to be honest, there might be one solution that might fix things. After I say this, I look at all three heads again. It might have to do with all three of you trusting me. Maybe the whole trick is that you have to make all of your minds trust me completely instead of two of you caring about me more and one of you not. The only thing I'm confused about is why one Totodile got turned to a Hydra with three personalities, so I don't even know 100%. But if you were trusting me, uh, if you were trusting me, would fix everything. I, I see. I mean, what if it turns you all back to normal, but you all become three separate Totodiles that care about me in different ways? As I say this, I point to the head starting. Starting with the left sad head. You might become a Totodile that cares about me, but gets extremely sad if somebody hurts me, or especially hurts you, or especially me. I point to the middle, happy, playful head and say, you could be very sweet and playful to me all the time, but might be a bit more angry if I did get hurt. And I point to the angry head. Honestly, with your personality, if you really cared about me, I think you would go over the top to keep me safe. Because you seem like a no nonsense kind of personality that would probably even rip somebody in half if they hurt me. The Hydra goes prematurely still, preternaturally still as you lay out your theory. The three heads remain frozen mid-sway. The serpentine necks create a cathedral like arch over your small frame. Your words proposing that their bond with you could unlock their true potential seem to vibrate through their shattered nervous system. Three separate Totodiles? The left head whispers, as though trembling, but this time it's not with fear, it's with wonder. You mean I could have my own space? I could be my own person, but still be part of this family? I could be the one who looks after you with kindness? A genuine watery smile forms on his snout. That sounds beautiful. And I could still play, but I'd be a super duper protector too. His head bounces, his neck coiling like a spring, like a guardian dragon, but with more snacks, and more naps, and more nuzzles. It nips playfully at the air, its tail wagging so hard it creates a small breeze that ruffles your scales. The right head remains the most silent. It stares at you intently, its crimson eyes studying your tiny, determined face. Your description of its protective nature, that is, that its anger could be channeled into being an unstoppable guardian, hits somewhere deep within its primal instincts. The anger it usually draws as it begins to shift, transforming from defensive rage into something more focused. Purpose. You're saying our trust isn't just about liking you? The right-head rumbles, its voice low and resonant. You're saying our trust is the key to our freedom? To becoming who we're supposed to be? It shifts its weight, its massive claws digging into the courtyard earth. Three separate minds, each with our own strength, but all loyal to the same trainer. It leans down until its snout's level with your chest, its breath warm against your scales. That's a heck of a promise, Tiny Dino. But if you're right, if that's how we break this curse, the redhead pauses, then gives a single sharp nod of approval. Then we're all in, all three of us. We'll learn to trust you. We'll learn to work together. Together! The center head cheers, causing the other two heads to instinctively lean in closer to each other. Together! The left head echoes softly, its eyes bright with hope. For the first time since the transformation, the three heads move in perfect synchronization. They don't argue or snap. They simply lower themselves in unison, forming a warm scaled circle around you. The Hydra curse has not been broken yet, but the foundation has been laid. You've given them something more important than a cure. You've given them a reason to believe in a future. The sun rises higher over the Pokemon lab, causing long shadows. The townspeople began to gather at the gates, whispering shock at the dragon monster in the courtyard. But inside the circle of blue scales, it feels like you and your three new partners are the only ones who truly understand what's happening. So, trainer, Redhead growls quietly. Through there's no mouse in it. What's our first move? We can't exactly walk through town like this without causing a riot. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Alright, guys. It's just when I see the heads of the Hydra actually being together instead of snapping at one another, or me, I smile. Well, to be honest with you all, we don't really need to do anything. Let's try building our bond in this courtyard, and if it does fix everything, then great. Whether you become just one Totodile or three separate ones with different personalities, I won't care as long as y'all still care about me. 'Cause I mean it when I say this. I love you as friends, and I mean that not just 100% or 1,000%. I mean it 1,000,000,000%. The sheer magnitude of your declaration that I, sh- astronomical number seems to echo off the walls of the laboratory. The three heads react with a collective gasp, their necks swaying in a wave of overwhelming emotion. For a moment, the three distinct personalities vanish, replaced by a single unified sense of awe. 1 billion%? The center head whispers, its voice cracking. Then it explodes into a fit of giggles and happy chirps. That's so many! That's more than all the berries in the world! More than all the stars in the sky! It begins to nuzzle you so enthusiastically that your tiny condor's legs nearly lift off the ground. We love you too! We love you 1 billion% plus one! Aw, you really don't care which form we take? The left head breathes, its voice soft and reverent. It presses its snout against your side, seeking the comfort of your presence. As long as we're still us, that's that's the kindest thing anyone's ever said to us. We promise, Tiny Trainer, we won't let you down. We'll try so hard to be what you need. A sense of profound calm settles over the left head. The weeping has stopped, replaced by a quiet, steady gratitude. The right head doesn't make a sound at all at first. It simply stares at you, its crimson eyes unblinking. You can see the muscles in its jaw working as it fights back whatever emotion is stirring beneath its tough exterior. Finally, it lets out a long, heavy exhale that smells faintly of smoke. Fine, you win, kid. Right hand grumbles. There is no bitter in it, only a strange, rough tenderness. We'll stay here. We'll work on this bond thing. And if anyone tries to come in here with nets or cages while we're doing it, it bares its teeth in a grin that's genuinely fierce. Well, they'll have to answer to me. Oh my gosh. Hide yourself into a comfortable position as three nets curving inward to create a private sanctuary for you within the courtyard. The three heads begin to arrange themselves around you like living cushions of blue scales. The, the center head finds a spot to rest its chin near your tail. The left head curves its neck around your middle like a warm blanket, and the right head positions itself at the front as I scan the laboratory windows and the courtyard gates with sharp protective vigilance. As you settle in, feeling the warmth of three massive dragon heads surrounding your tiny body, a strange sense of peace fills the air. The chaos of the transformation hasn't faded, but the fear has. You've begun the most important journey of your life, not one of battles and badges, but one of healing, trust, and a bond that defies the laws of Pokemon nature itself. In the quiet of the courtyard, the only sounds are your own breathing and the synchronized, rumbling purrs of three heads that have decided to become your family. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. This is when I feel the middle head nuzzle me. I smile, even if I about got pushed over. I feel even more happy when I feel the left sad head and the right angry head start to care too. I look over at the right head while I gently nuzzle the left and middle heads and said, See, you do care about me too, deep down. I know you do. You're being awfully protective over me for the personality that says you don't care. I can tell you all this right now. I don't need to hide my emotions for you. I just said it a while ago, and I'll say it again. I love you all 1 billion%. Your words act like a final anchor, typing their three separate spirits to your tiny and brave heart. The courtyard seems to grow quieter as your declaration sinks in that you see through their defenses. You accept their anger, their sadness, and their joy is equally precious. I can't help it! The right head snarls defensively as you call out its protectiveness, but its snout actually twitches a clear sign of embarrassment. It turns its head away sharply, but it doesn't move an inch from its position guarding your front. It's not because I care or whatever. It's just basic strategy. A trainer is valuable. I'm protecting an asset. But as it speaks, its tail gives one involuntary betraying thump against the ground. Liar! The center head chirps, giggling as it nuzzles your ribs. You're a big softy underneath all those scary teeth. You're just like us now. You really see us? The left head murmurs, its voice muffled as it presses its cheek against her scales. Even when we're difficult, even when we're broken, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need us to be perfect to love us. A strange thing happens. The left head's breathing evens out. For the first time, the constant trembling in its neck stops. As you continue to nuzzle the two calmer heads, the Hydra's body responds to the overwhelming wave of affection. Three nets begin to move in a slow, rhythmic sway, almost like they're breathing together as one. Physical chaos of their argument has become replaced by a strained magical harmony. The right head finally speaks again, its voice quiet and rough, almost reverent. You're a weird little lizard, Tiny Dono, but if that's how you feel, and we'll make sure we're worth that number. It lowers its head just enough to let its forehead rest gently against yours, completing the circle. 1,000,000,000%, the center head whispers playfully. 1,000,000,000%. Left head echoes softly. Yeah, whatever. 1,000,000,000%. The right head grumbles, but it stays pressed against you, its head providing a fortress of comfort. The sun climbs higher, warming your scales as you rest in the center of your new family. Town outside may be panicking, and the professor may be rushing toward the courtyard with questions, but here inside the circle of blue scales, the curse has already begun to lose its power. You haven't just found a Pokemon, you started to have three broken souls with nothing but the courage. You started to heal three broken souls with nothing but the courage to love them. Alright, cool. Alright, guys, this is why I see how all three heads react. I smile once again. And it says, I really mean that, and I really hope all of you understand. I looked over head, at the right angry head once again. I know I've been nuzzling you a lot, and that goes for the happy and sad heads too. But I know you probably still need some more proof of how much I really do care about you. So please tell me something that would prove my love for you. Something that wouldn't be impossible for my tiny size. I'm trying to make all of you happy, not just two of you. The courtyard falls into an expectant silence. The center head stops bouncing, its big eyes blinking rapidly as it realizes this isn't just. No. Pull again. Yep, that messed up the flippin' bull crap I had going. Oh man. Well, no, this stuff ain't gonna be perfect anymore. Oh, no, the chorus falls into an expectant silence. The center head starts bouncing, its big eyes blinking rapidly as it realizes this isn't just about playing, it's about the real work of earning the trust of three different hearts. The left head lifts its chin from your side, its water eyes searching yours with vulnerability, waiting to see if you truly mean this challenge. The riot stiffens, its crimson eyes narrow as it processes your request. It has spent its entire life expecting trainers to demand things, demanding battles, demanding obedience, demanding strength. To have a trainer ask, what can I do to prove I love you? Is something it has no framework to understand. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. Uh, it says it shifts its massive weight, scales grinding against each other like tectonic plates. Prove? The redhead rumbles. Its voice is quieter now, less of a snarl and more of a deep, thoughtful growl. You want to prove it to me? Most trainers see this form and see a weapon, or a monster, or a mistake that needs fixing. It leans in closer, its breath hot against your snout, forcing you to look directly into the intensity of its gaze. If you want proof that you understand me, then don't treat me like the others. Don't try to make me nice. Don't try to force me to be happy like the idiot in the middle, or calm like the crybaby on the left. The head pauses, and for a split second the fierce expression softens into something raw. When I'm angry, when I'm lashing out because I'm scared of what we've become, don't flinch. Don't back away. Don't look at me like I'm something broken that needs to be mended. It bares its teeth in a grimace that isn't threatening, but almost desperate. Just stay. Stay right there in the middle of my storm. Show me that my anger doesn't scare you away from the Pokemon underneath it. That's the only proof I need that you can handle the real me, even when the real me is difficult. That's a big job for someone so small, Left Head whispers, wistful of awe. But it's the truth. Yeah, Centerhead adds, though it keeps its voice subdued to respect on it. You gotta be brave enough to blow up the grumpy parts too. Red huffs a small cloud of smoke, its head retreating just an inch. There! You asked for it. Now we'll see if you're as tough as your words. Despite its challenge, the Hydra doesn't move away. Instead, it settles more firmly around you, three nets forming a living fortress. They have given you their terms. They don't need grand gesture or impossible feats. They simply need you to be the one constant, tight, unshakable anchor that refuses to leave when the storm of their curse gets loud. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. This is when I hear what the angry head says. I smile and nod. And said, "That's what I've already been doing, buddy. Like you all said a while ago, this transformation's part of the reason why you're all like this. I'm not trying to make you nice if you don't want to be. I just want to know that you care about me, and that goes for all three of you. Not to mention, I'm trying to help you transform back into your normal self, whether you become three separate Totodile or go back to one. If the theory I said a while ago is true, then I need you all three to trust me completely. Honestly, your anger could be really useful for a lot of things, especially if you do care about me like you've been showing me. We might need that aggressive nature of yours to keep me safe. Imagine if you all three became three separate Totodiles and eventually evolved into fur alligators with those personalities. Even if y'all stayed as a Hydra, think of how much power you all could have if you all worked together for the same goal, even if that goal was to always protect me. The moment you mention the word "feraligatr", the entire Hydra's body reacts with a visible jolt. The idea of not just being three separate Pokemon, but three powerful evolved guardians sends a ripple of something akin to hope through their shared circulatory system. Feraligatrs? The Redhead repeats the word slowly, testing the weight of it. Its crimson eyes flash with something new, not rage, but ambition. Three of us. Three for alligators. A coordinated strike team. No one could touch you. No one could even get close enough to breathe on you. It licks its teeth with a newfound intensity. If that's what it takes to be the shield you need, then yeah, I'm interested in that power. The aggressive head finally accepts its role, not as a monster to be feared, but as a weapon to be wielded in defense of its family. Three for alligators. The centerhead practically somersaults, its massive tail knocking over another empty planter in the courtyard. We'd be the strongest team ever. We could protect you from everything. Big bad trainers, scary Pokemon, even rain clouds. It nuzzles you with such force you have to brace your crying claws against the ground. And we still be best friends. Three times the hugs. And I could be strong enough to stand beside you? Lefthead speaks softly, but there's a rare note of steel in its voice. I wouldn't just be the one who cries. I could be the one who watches over you while you sleep. I could be strong in my own way. The sadness hasn't left its eyes entirely, but it has been tempered by a quiet determination. As you speak about working together for one goal, protecting you, the physical transformation in their behavior becomes undeniable. The necks stop swaying independently. They begin to move in a synchronized rhythm. When you speak, all three heads tilt at the exact same angle, focusing on you with an intensity that makes you feel like the center of the entire universe. You've got a big vision for someone who can fit in my mouth. The right head rumbles, though there's no smirk in its tone now. But I like it. Power with a purpose. We trust you, tiny dino, Left Head promises, its voice steady. 100%, the center head shouts. One, the right head's the one that says this. 1,000,000,000%, the right head adds, and this time it doesn't sound like he's complaining. The three heads lower themselves simultaneously, forming a tight protective triangle around you. They aren't just three heads on one body anymore, they are three minds united under one mission. The curse still binds them physically, but the emotional shackles, the fear, the isolation, the anger began to crack. You could give them a vision who they could be, and for the first time, the Hydra isn't fighting itself, it's waiting for you to lead the way. That's really cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, when I hear that, I smile as big as I can and walk over to all three heads to gently nuzzle them even more. I said, thank you all so much. I'm going to tell you this right now. If this curse or whatever this is does not break after you all start caring about me, I want you to know that I will care about you as a Hydra. Like I said, I love dragons. After saying this, I look over at the right angry head again. I want you to know something. As long as you're not taking your anger out on me, you're taking it out on something else or using it to protect me, I won't care if you destroy a whole yard. Just promise that you will not attack me when you get angry, okay? I promise if you do that thing you told me a while ago about not being scared. I promise if you do, that thing you told me a while ago about not being scared when you get angry will happen very quickly. The corridor becomes a place of profound, quiet understanding as your words settle over them. For a creature that has been defined by its volatility, your promise of unconditional acceptance, even if the curse never breaks, is more valuable than any potion. You, you'd still love us as a Hydra? Left head whispers, its voice heavy with emotion. It presses its forehead against your shoulder, its body shuddering slightly as it tries to contain its gratitude. Even if we're monsters forever, even if we stay big and scary, you still want us? It seems as though it might cry again, but this time the tears were those of relief rather than sorrow. Dragons are cool! Dragons are awesome! The center head declares, spinning its neck in a joyous loop. We can be the biggest, strongest, coolest dragon family ever. We'll have scales that shine like jewels and we'll sleep in caves and it pauses mid-sentence, suddenly looking at you with genuine seriousness. We promise, Tiny Dino, we'll never make you sad. Then comes the moment with the right head. When you set the boundary that has his anger must be directed outward as protection or discipline, never inward towards you. Crested head goes perfectly still. His crimson eyes meet yours with a level of respect that transcends the trainer Pokemon relationship. That's fair. Ryehead rumbles. His voice is gravelly, but the usual edge of hostility has been filed down by your honesty. I don't want to hurt you. I'm angry at the world, and I'm angry at this body, but you're the only thing in this whole messed up situation that makes sense. He leans down, not with a threat, but with a solemn vow. His massive snout stops inches from your face. I give you my word. My teeth are for anything that tries to take you away. My roars for anything that threatens you. When I'm with you, he closes his eyes briefly. When I'm with you, the storm stays outside the circle. The three heads then perform something unprecedented. They synchronize their nuzzles. In one fluid motion, all three heads lean in, their massive snouts gently brushing against your small scales. It's a coordinated gesture of submission and loyalty, a declaration that they are no longer three warring minds, but one united force under your command. 1,000,000,000%, the center head whispers. Always, the left head breathes. On my honor, the right head growls softly. As you stand there surrounded by the warm scaled embrace of three powerful dragon minds, the sun shines brightly on the courtyard. You have done what no professor or expert could. You didn't try to fight the curse with science, you fought it with trust. The Hydra's still massive, still three-headed, and still cursed, but it's no longer broken. The journey to find a cure has truly begun, but more importantly, the journey of a family has started. That is really, really flippin' cute. It really is. I love it, dude. Alright, guys. Let me figure out something. Alright, guys. So when I feel all the Hydra heads nuzzle me at once, I smile, and instead of moving, I just sit there and lean to the nuzzle. Ah, thank you so much, sweethearts. At this point, I'm so happy that all three heads are really starting to trust me, so I just continue to lean into them and relax. I even take a few steps closer and sit down right next to all three heads. As you sink down to the grass, settling comfortably between the massive warm curves of their necks, atmosphere in the courtyard shifts entirely. Tension that had been coiled tight since the transformation, the fear of the townspeople, the confusion of the professor, raw panic of the head simply melts away. The center head responds to your relaxed posture immediately. Feeling you settle in, it lets out a long, contented sigh that sounds like wind rushing through trees. It lowers its chin to the ground beside you, its neck coiling loosely so it can keep its snout close to your side. This is the best spot in the whole world, it mumbles drowsily, its eyelids drooping. Right here with Tiny Dino. No more running, no more shouting. Lifted follows suit, its breathing becoming slow and rhythmic. It tilts its neck inward, creating a soft blue barrier between you and the rest of the world. It's safe here, it whispers, its voice barely audible above the rustle of leaves. For the first time since last night, I don't feel scared. I feel home. Even the right-head, the self-proclaimed tough guy, shows his acceptance, while it keeps its eyes half open, scanning the perimeter with disciplined vigilance. It doesn't pull away. Instead, it stretches its long neck out till its jaw rests on the ground just behind you, acting like a living backrest. The heat radiating from its massive body provides a furnace-like warmth that makes your scales tingle pleasantly. Don't get too comfortable, kid. Redhead rumbled softly, though there's zero conviction in his throat. We still gotta figure out how to deal with all those people staring at us. But despite its words, it doesn't move. It accepted its first mission to guard your nap. For a long while, there's only the sound of peaceful breathing. You sit there, a tiny dinosaur in the center of a dragon's nest, feeling the gentle rise and fall of three massive hearts beating in loose synchronization. The courtyard, once a scene of terrifying transformation and chaos, has become a private sanctuary of absolute trust. The curse remains, and the world outside will eventually come knocking with questions and complicated plans. But in this moment, none of that matters. You have done something miraculous. You have turned a monster into a family, and you have found a place where you truly belong. That's really cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. Just when I hear the right angry heads say that we still gotta figure out a way to deal with the people staring at us, I just shake my tiny head slightly. There's not much we can do unless we can get you to turn back into one small Totodile or three separate Totodiles. I take my tiny golden coin so I point at the crowd. With all those people gathered at the gate, we wouldn't even be able to leave. Not to mention, I would be worried about them throwing rocks at me. Humans can do that to me for no reason, despite the fact that I'm so small and couldn't hurt anyone. Not to mention they threw rocks at me, picking up or hit me over my tiny head or snout. I even had worse things happen. But what I just said, I looked over at the sad head. What happened to you last night? Something happened to you last night, Toto, before I became your trainer and before this whole Hydra transformation? The mention of people throwing rocks and hurting small Pokemon makes the Hydra. His entire body tense up simultaneously. The protective instinct you just cultivated flares like wildfire. Rocks! The riot snarls, its eyes snapping toward the courtyard gates with lethal focus. Its claws dig into the pavement, leaving deep gouges. If anyone, and I mean anyone, tries to throw something at you, they won't be throwing rocks for long. They'll be throwing themselves. Primitive anger in his voice isn't directed at you, but at the very idea of someone hurting something so small and trusting. We won't let them touch you, Tony Dono, Left Head whispers. But then your question lands. Question about what happened last night makes the left head freeze completely. Peaceful atmosphere evaporates, replaced by a sudden heavy stillness. Left head flinches as if you had struck it. Its breathing becomes shallow and rapid. It touches the neck away from you slightly, not out of anger, but out of raw, exposed vulnerability. Last night, Left head begins, its voice cracking. It sounds small like a child caught in a storm. Everything happened so fast. We were all together at the lab. It was supposed to be our first day. We were so excited. It shivers violently. You could see its pupils dilating with remembered fear. The professor, he was busy with the other Pokemon. We were alone in our Pokeball for a moment, and then someone came. We couldn't see them. We just heard footsteps. Heavy, scary footsteps. A tear skates its eye, tracking down its blue scales. We heard the bottle open. We smelled something strange, something sweet but wrong. We tried to warn each other, but we couldn't speak. We only felt the liquid being forced down our throats. Serena whispers, its usual playfulness completely gone. It tasted like burning dragon fire. It hurt so bad. Our bodies started stretching and tearing, and the pain was so loud I couldn't even scream. Riot growls low in its throat, but it's not an angry growl. It's a growl of helpless fury. Someone drugged us. Oh my gosh. Someone deliberately gave us that potion to see what would happen. We weren't just transformed. We were experimented on. We woke up like this. We woke up like this. 3 heads, 3 minds, trapped in this massive body because someone wanted to play God with our lives. Hotel looks at you with eyes full of profile. That's why I'm so. Wait. That's why I'm so scared, Tiny Dino. Every time I close my eyes, I feel that burning liquid again. I feel like I'm losing myself. I'm scared that even if we find a cure, the person who did this is still out there. And I'm scared that maybe we're always meant to be monsters. The 3 heads all go silent at once, waiting for your reaction. Revelation hangs heavy in the air. Transformation wasn't an accident, it was an attack. The trauma of that night is the wound that the curses have left open. Now I know you don't just know they're present, you know the pain of their past. Okay, so there's a bit of a problem. I don't know if it's just because of like the unluckiness with this particular chapter, or just because I actually dragged it on a bit too long. It's only been, according to this thing, um, 27. While I don't think that, I mean that's kind of long, but I mean I guess it's kind of what I get for not stopping at like 15 or 20. The lowest I should go is probably always 20, just to make sure I flip and don't have any problems like this. Because here's the thing. Despite the fact that I was kind of like in the middle of something when I did the pumpkin curse Totodile, it was actually very fun. And the same thing for the angry Totodile snapper. The last few times I've done it, except for the little bit of memory issues I had in that one video. Other than that though, it was actually very flippin' fun. Although I think in this regard, I'm probably gonna have to restart anyway. Usually I don't do this, but you know what? I'm gonna let it flip and make an auto memory this time because I think I'm gonna have to redo this one anyway at one point, and I don't know if I'll, like I said, I don't know if it's really gonna work out anyway. I'm gonna end off this video. I'll see you guys later.